Welcome everyone, Simon here from the Whales of Wall Street. We have the news coming out this evening of the Bitcoin ETF approval. 11 spot trade accounts have been approved. I think over 20 were actually rejected over the period of time of application, which stems back a number of months, to be honest. It's something that we've all been kind of aware of for a long time. And the rumours are relatively correct in the sense that everyone was anticipating these approvals to be done by the 10th of January, aka today, as of recording. Let's go straight into this topic, guys. So I'll just pull up the official statement from the SEC from Gary Gensler. I'm not going to read this word for word, but I think it's very self-explanatory as to what's going on here. But yes, the statement on the approval of spot Bitcoin exchange traded products. And there's a long list here of pretty much the background of how they've come about to get to this stage, and the approval, partly about the approval process. Of course, one of the things I love down here, while we approved the listing and trading of certain spot Bitcoin ETP shares today, we did not approve or endorse Bitcoin. Investors should remain cautious amid the myriad risks associated with Bitcoin and products whose value is tied to crypto. Yeah, it's very much the usual stuff that, of course, they have to put in. Not saying they are financial advisors at all. But the fact that they have approved this, but just want to keep an arm's distance as to exactly what goes on in the near future is nothing to do with the SEC. Of course, there's a lot of pressure with the grayscale aspect, the suit that was occurring towards the end of last year as well. I think there was actually no option whatsoever for the SEC other than to approve these eventually. So people have been looking at the charts. Again, I'll bring that up right now actually as a topic point. The Bitcoin price has not been moving much at all since that announcement. In fact, if we zoom in, you can very much see that there has been very little movement at all. Very similar to kind of what we've been seeing over the last few weeks, if not the last month or so as well. So currently, as of recording, floating around this $46,000 mark. That, of course, might change overnight as we fall asleep here in the UK and other markets arise around the world to the news. But in general, which I'll switch back to in a second, is the aspect that trading should, in theory, start opening up again as of tomorrow anyway, through these new spot ETFs, the trading aspects being open. So although they've been approved, this doesn't mean yet that they are live. So it'd be really interesting to see what those dates will be. Of course, we've got the halving event coming up in April as well, timing around this sort of area, and everything else that we spoke about in a previous video, which I'll leave a link to at the end of this one and in the description below as well, where we covered some orientations in a live video discussion about things like interest rates, of course, the things that are going on in the Red Sea, etc. All these things can very much apply to market movements worldwide, but you can see obviously there's no way around this at all, that Bitcoin has moved significantly well since this kind of period around November 2022. We obviously had a bit of an upward trend, but I would say safely really from this kind of like August situation where the ETF kind of conversations were coming and creeping back in, that this started really flying up. And in my opinion, and we've kind of said this before, that we always said that we believe the price has already reflected the fact of ETF pricing, the opportunity, the rumor, the excitement behind it. That's proven right now. Could go out the window tomorrow for sure. But I think people will have a bit of a steady aspect to this, keeping that volume nice and high. So when we have that live event occurring of these ETFs going officially live, well, this is the big question mark. Does it tank because the money has been made and they're buying the rumor, sell the news aspect? Or will it go absolutely flying? My only orientation around that, where people are saying, "Oh, it's going to be the beginning of the the proper bull run, etc." The confirmation of it is that these things are going on around the world still. There's a lot of lack of confidence in everything at the moment, especially with like disposable income and things. Of course, the super rich don't need to worry about things like that, of course. But there's a lot to ponder on. I think the main thing really was just to mention, if you hadn't heard already, I'm sure you've been on many YouTube videos already before this one, and of course all the news articles flying around and all the notifications on the phone and the messages. It is quite exciting, but yeah, even just sitting here, it's nicely floating around. A lot of fluctuations in price, so I'm sure there's many trades going on in the macro level, which I don't know if I can actually see what's occurring on the minute at the moment. Let's just have a very quick look here. This is based on each minute. You can see there's a lot of fluctuation here. I mean, jumping 44,000 from back here earlier in the day to 46. It's still good movement going on, so we'll keep an eye on that. I might do a live video of Bitcoin when I'm up in the morning, see if there's any movements, and certainly when the New York stock exchanges open up, etc., tomorrow as well. I'll try and go live and we'll see what happens, but I'm going to leave this here right now, guys, because it is exciting, and let's review this tomorrow. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see which way it goes, if at all any kind of reaction whatsoever. And of course, then we need to look out for these potential Ethereum ETFs as well, the ETH ETFs, potential Litecoin, and many others that will probably be added to the list as well. I'm sure there's going to be a big push for this in 2024. And of course, it's all about the accessibility, the opening up to new markets, the opening up to new people around the world who perhaps didn't really like the thought of, crypto exchanges and things like this. They can now access this through their traditional stock and shares platforms, which is quite phenomenal. We'll do a video on that tomorrow as well, because I think there's a lot of really interesting statistics and information around how many people could actually be brought to the table in the crypto sphere without actually directly coming in. This is where I think the next year or so is going to be very, very interesting indeed, for not only the mass adoption, we've also got the utility of crypto and blockchain as well. So let's see how it goes, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks for jumping in on this one for the quick update on BTC ETF approved. Let's go. See you in the next one.